Good evening.
Good evening.
I'm a lawyer. I want to pay tribute to somebody who's not here tonight, Mickey Weber. He helped. He led the fight. Really, he was the brains behind when we fought Susan Pop versus Kelly Herod recount that left us with the winning that position in an otherwise grim election season. So I want to mention that. I want to mention Kevin Vissing, who also had his own recount this past year. Unfortunately for me, trying to make a fee, Kevin is a man of integrity who saw that the ballots were turning out just like they were showing on election night, so he conceded, as opposed to how the Republicans' attitude towards such matters goes. So anyway, I want to say thanks to, or acknowledge Kevin and his decency and his how he handled himself in that fight. Of course, Nicole Yates, she was a great. She was my hero. The way she fought and helped me fight for Josh. And then, of course, I want to pay tribute to Josh, who never gave up fighting. Never gave up fighting. And you know what? That is so important. My father-in-law told me when I was having a tough time with the case, and said, well, you know what they said, you know, the thing about it, whether what any kind of fight it is, you got to keep standing, you got to keep fighting. And it's the last guy standing that's winning. And Josh is the last guy standing in this particular contest, which unfortunately isn't completely over. The Republicans have decided to take campaign, and what part of what's going on and what we're seeing with these recounts is they want to hit the Democrat Party. You know, they know that I have volunteered over the years for the Democrat Party. I've represented Democrats when we had absentee ballot challenges, when we had provisional ballot challenges, we had other challenges. Mickey Weber, the same thing. Last year we got to the end of the thing and we said, we're going to do an appeal. Tom, we got to have some money. We're doing an appeal, just like we're doing this year. That's why it's important to make contributions, because Democrats aren't rich like Republicans. My mom told me. My mom told me. My mom told me, says, well, rich man wants to be Republican. That's Sue Mosley. I was raised in Sellersburg, graduated Silver Creek, and am a lifelong Democrat, and so proud. I hate Republicans. I'm sorry, Evan, I'm a partisan guy. I don't like their crap. And look what they got. Donald Trump, are you kidding me? Really? So anyway, I thought I would mention some things. I printed off some of the comments that Josh and I had in private in our text messaging while this case, and Nicole, we were busy at night trying to reassess the day's events. And I thought I would bring some of those in for you to see. And early on in this recount, they started loading it up with police officers on the Republican side. And I guess that's got nothing to do with the fact that Sheriff Knoll was involved. But we found that, yeah, there was a cop here, cop there, cop was here. So Josh said to me, so we're up against the militarized police. We're going to need some help if we're going to gain some of the power back. And I said, well, maybe we need some bikers on our side. We were going through the recount. We noticed that they were counting incorrectly. Imagine that. And we commented on that, and Josh, or I said, no shit, I'm actually not confident they were counting right. That woman that was with her, this other counter, she was mismarking the tally mark. That's why I sat up there on them. They didn't like that. And Josh wrote back, I know they were counting wrong. I watched them. After you left, they made a comment about it. They must not know that nurses can read lips. At some point along, we were going to have to talk to the media we're trying to decide about speeches that we make, which is an appropriate topic for tonight, right, Josh? Anyway, he says, I hope you got a speech prepared. Well, not really. Me either. You need one, though, said Josh. And I said, I'll have one. Oh, he said, I'll have one. Who is your favorite founding father? And I said, well, I've never thought about that before. I guess Ben Franklin. And Josh said, well, why do you like him? And I said, well, he was practical-minded. He had courage, bravery. He risked his life when he had it easy. We find idealism, courage to support it. And finally, he was a blogger. He had Poor Richard. So, and for those of you that don't know me, I have Gall News, so I blog on that. So I like Ben. Then there was, at one point they were asking for a special election, which we thought, well, that would be interesting, because if they have a special election, that puts Matt Owens at risk as well. And so I was wondering, what's Larry doing up there? And Josh wrote, maybe Larry's switching teams again. I said, maybe we should hire Katrina Powell's daughters to come and help be our legal assistants when we argue our appeal. Josh said, I would die laughing. They would do it. I wonder if Larry's got a freebie from Katrina Powell. I said, okay, I'll get with you on that tomorrow. Oh, I don't think even Larry would put his junk near that. I had to defend Wilder on that. Then on Steve Webb, our challenger. And by the way, I saw Steve, a very nice fellow. I understand he's selling used boats now. I know. Sorry, I couldn't help it. On Steve Webb, Josh sent me a message where he says, Webb made a comment in the recount. We could go upstairs and check out integrity. I told him that he already checked mine. He said, no, the sheriff did. Oh. If you recall, they ran a background check on Josh. And part of it was that Josh wasn't really Josh Rodriquez. Who is Josh Rodriquez? And we discussed that one. And Josh wrote to me, as my friend from Damascus would say, I am Josh Rodriquez. All right, so it was also, I see Stacy's here, and he was also, at one time the Republicans attacked him because he and Stacy had said, these guys are brothers on Facebook, he's my brother. Well, they said, well, there's a natural, he can't be on his site because he's a natural born biological brother of the candidate. And they were taking things a little too far, I think, on Facebook. I think they need to back off the Facebook. So those are some of the lighter moments from our comments, because we had a real fight. It was ugly and nasty. And those of you who were there and were counters, I want to thank you all, because you all saw how nasty it could get. It's not enough just to campaign, put your ideas out there, to stand for what's right as you see it, and win your election. We are going to have to fight more of these, because the Republicans know when they litigate us, they can possibly win. When they litigate us, they drain our resources. When they litigate us, they can go keep issues alive in the press. So you have to, like my father-in-law said, you've got to keep standing and keep fighting.
There you go.
Yeah, well, we've got good people for that. Vicki Carmichael, for example, my great friend. I'm so proud of her. When she's coming up next year or two, we're going to be fighting for you, Vicki. But I want to end this with some quotes I pulled off the internet. And I think they're appropriate. Winston Churchill. No part of the education of a politician is more indispensable than the fighting of elections. Then there was Joseph Stalin on the other side. Here's what he said. It is enough that the people know there was an election. The people who cast the votes decide nothing. The people who count the votes decide everything.
That's right.
Yeah, he'd fit right in with the Republican today, wouldn't he? Finally, in this world of sin and sorrow, H.L. Mencken, in this world of sin and sorrow, there's always something to be thankful for. Look at you, Pepper. As for me, I rejoice that I am not a Republican.